adjust your shorts, and prepare yourselves to get kicked in the dick by the news live from the cabin. My name is Ray Stone. Today is Tuesday, February 3rd, and that means the year's 1/12 of the way over. Can't believe it, it's 1/12 over. Well, it's been a couple of days since I've been at this because we relocated for the temporary interim meantime to Purgatory, which is where we plan to remain. They say they undid Purgatory, but it's back, and we're in it. So, without further ado, let's get into some news. First up, Department of Justice publishes 3.5 million responsive pages in compliance with the Epstein Files Transparency Act. It's almost like they want to inundate you with bullshit to further obfuscate from the truth, from releasing the truth. Like, okay, if I want information, right, I'm looking for information, and I'm looking for some specific information, like, I don't know, who was doing the trafficking? Who were these recipients? You know, specific information, something like that. And you wait for, I don't know, how long has it been? 2 years? At least one full year, but years. I mean, because he died in prison in 2019? So, okay, I'm sorry. 7 years that they've just been camping on this information. And then they finally are forced to release all of the Epstein files. And so they say, okay, we're done redacting full pages and all that stuff. We'll go ahead and release 3.5 million pages. Good luck going through it all, I think, is the message here. Enjoy your reading. I mean, you know how long... Oh, hey, wait a second. I think I've got a job for Grok. Hey, Grok, go through the files. If anybody is listening and you're like, how the fuck are you supposed to go through 3 million files? Please input the information, download the files, and then input them into Grok and say, hey, Grok, why don't you give me the 411 on the deets on this bullshit, on these Epstein files? Fuck! And having to do with that, NPR, the Clintons have agreed to testify in House Epstein investigation ahead of contempt of Congress vote. Now, my only question is this another grand jury thing where you testify but you keep it private? Because they don't get to keep it private. The Clintons are so dirty. I mean, look at these two buffoons. I just realized something. So Bill has always been known for his red nose. Bit of a. I think he's a bit of a gin guy. This Bill Clinton. But he looks even more like a clown now with the little rosy cheeks. Oh, Billy boy, you are in trouble, and you wore a dress, and you let someone photograph you, and your wife, what's the word? Unalives a bunch of people? Intentional unaliving of people? That should soften the blow a little bit, huh? Well, we didn't do anything wrong. We just unalived a few people. And, for the first time, I think in any photograph ever, I feel like this is the most serious I've ever seen old Billy here. He actually looks like he's interested. Kind of like when you're afraid. When you're like interested because you're afraid. Doesn't it kind of look like old Billy boy here? Sort of has a little bit of a shit, I might have to jump and run look on his face. Meanwhile, Muppet number 2 is like, finally. Finally. She's like, all right, I'm going to take all this information. He's looking like shit. I'm going to run. She's looking like, all y'all who are talking right now, dead meat. Politico. Norway PM prime minister, says royal princess showed, quote, poor judgment over links with Epstein because she was in contact and has lots of emails with, and texts, but emails with old Epstein, the Epstein file. Oh my God. Pedophile, Epstein file. How has nobody, ooh, yeah, an epiphile. She's in trouble because she's an epiphile. She's in the Epstein file. And it's like, yeah, this is where it leads. This is why they didn't want to release this shit. This right here. It's the royals. But it always has been, to be fair, it always has been. These elite motherfuckers, these Greek elite motherfuckers, these Roman Greek elite motherfuckers touching little boys and telling everyone it's their pleasure. Telling everyone, oh yeah, no, you want your son to come move to the castle. Then he has a permanent home in the castle. You don't want him to like have to make his way and become a useful individual in society. Bring him to the castle. He'll become a useful little boy in a castle. We're going to keep him in his own little cage. People get to pet him, feed him. You know, it's like, what a great life, huh? And this woman here, there are a couple of shots of her that I just have to say, it looks a lot like Erica Kirk. And also, second up, I love how Erica Kirk has just absolutely disappeared. Newsflash, it was Charlie. Everyone liked, even I liked Charlie, and I disagreed with much of what he said. But I liked the fact that he would let you disagree with him on stage. And sometimes the people would win. Oftentimes, he was very right, but one way or the other, it was quite engaging. But old Erica with her zooming on my face, I'm going to say, I bless you and I forgive you. All right, moving on. Trump and Johnson wrangle GOP votes to end the shutdown, to which we all say, huzzah! Right? Because we all love all the policies. I'm such a fan of policies, I'd love for you to just make some more and then try to implement those policies on us. We the people. We the people of policies. We love them. So thank goodness the policies are back up and running. Okay, Axios. This was interesting. Gabbard says Trump asked her to attend FBI raid at Georgia election hub. Why was it a problem? Why is it a problem that anyone in government is attending a government action? I mean, now is it because is she Homeland Security? If she's Homeland Security, then holy shit, she's the one that's behind the ICE raids. You know what? We got to look this up. Is Gabbard Homeland, or is she CIA? National Director of National Intelligence, confirmed position in February. She's not the Secretary of Homeland Security. Oh yeah, that's Kristi Noem. Director of National Intelligence. Okay, so the FBI is information, and Director of National Intelligence is information, just like CIA is intelligence information. So, I mean, what's the problem exactly? What is exactly the problem if one of our top directors is investigating and keeping track of other things that are going on? I say, great. But it's funny that she was supposed to be on vacation. I think that was the story. Like, she tweeted out the day before, oh, just in Turks and Caicos or wherever the fuck she was. And then somebody spotted her lurking. And it's like, yeah, what? Too much information, guys. Too much information going around. That's what I say. All right, ABC. Vatican's trial of the century resumes after prosecutors suffer setbacks on appeal. I had to dig. So what's funny is this article, I didn't even know there was some trial of the century going on. And this article tries to bury the lead, which is the Vatican is being investigated for money scandal, for embezzlement, for buying this mega mansion for like $420 million US, 360 million euros, I think was the number I saw. And they embezzled a bunch of money. It's like, okay, is anybody surprised that the corporation known as the church that has run the money up until recently, where the banks, aka the JOUs, oh my God, I think I'm going to start writing JOUs to people. It's like an IOU, but it's a little squirrely at the bottom. Oh, up until the JOUs took over the banking and realized they could fleece everybody with percentages that nobody can afford, it was the Vatican that had all the gold, jewels, and silver, which is all the money. They were the ones that were in control of all the money. So it's like, are we surprised at all to find that some people who work there took some money? No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, they also touch kids, too. Remember, that was the big Epstein files. What if that's the psyop? What if the Epstein files is a psyop to take the heat off the Catholic Church for touching kids and relocating pastors and doing all that kind of bull? What if that's the psyop? Oh, my God. Well, JOU, I'll get back to you later on that one. Oh, I saw this. Okay, Disney names Parks chief Josh D'Amaro as its next CEO. And I don't care about this at all, except for, once again, Disney touches kids. Like, if you never saw this, I saw this for my own eyes. When I was in science class in high school, Spanish class in high school, my teacher, Mrs. Rott, shout out Mrs. Rott. She was awesome. She told us about some hidden messages in Lion King. Actually, no. Someone brought it up in the class and she said, no way, bring in the movie. So we queued up the Lion King, and there's a part where they flop down, Pumbaa and Timon flop down on their sides. Poof. And this was VHS. This was not digitally enhanced. This was before that shit. This was literally the big cassette that you had to put in, and it was on film. And when they flop down, the word sex, S-E-X, so clearly is spelled out in the night sky. It's when they're like laying down at sunset or in the night, and they both flop down, and then it like the dust comes up and it swirls away, but it spells sex clear as day before it swirls away. And then in Aladdin, when Aladdin rides the carpet up to Jasmine's window, which is super fucking creepy as it is, rides it up to the window, right when he's entering when he's like flying in, she sees him, she invites him in, you hear a whisper, hey kids, take off all your clothes. It's in there. It is in there. Find the old VHS. I don't know if they've cleaned it up for the digital versions. Maybe they've cleaned it up for the DVD versions. But on the old VHS versions of Lion King and Aladdin, there's sexual stuff. And then, of course, the Little Mermaid's entire underwater world is made of giant cock penises. Giant cocks and penises and dildos are fucking all over the place. So my whole point on this was, this is the most chomo looking son. Like, look at this face. If this face doesn't say I should be Greek or Roman and I'm going to touch something I shouldn't touch, your radar is off. Golly. Just the bullshit meter is in the red, boys. The bullshit meter is in the red. Okay, latest news in The Guardian. Trump urges Republicans to nationalize the voting. Now, this is fun. And he said, all over in 15, everywhere. He's up to his normal shit. What he's trying to do, actually, he's trying to say that the votes no longer count. So maybe this was actually the long game for taking over control of this runaway train that is freedom in the United States. Let's back up a few steps and think about the people that actually run the country, which are the people that have all the oil money and now the tech money. But really, the oil money is the old money. It's old money. Oil. Okay? Old money. Stick with me. What if while we're looking left and right and blaming the Republicans, we'll blame the Democrats for letting all these voters in. Then we're going to blame the Republicans for shutting down and trying to, border patrol everybody up. But what if the move is, because what Trump is trying to do is become get a third term. And we are not at war. He said, all I've got to do is keep us at war and then I can run for a third term. This little piggy right here wants a third term. And what if the money behind all of this shit actually is trying to get voting out of our hands and actually become more of a dictatorial society by bringing in all of these illegals, okay, and then saying, well, we can't have them vote and we can't control if they do or if they don't, which they could because you just have to go get an ID, a voter ID. If you don't have a voter ID card, you can't vote. That's the way it used to be. Like you had to have your card with you when you went to vote, but no longer. So we're going to do away with the voter ID rules. Then we're going to bring in a bunch of illegals. Then we're going to say, well, we don't have any voter ID rules, so I guess we can't really have a viable election. So we're going to start appointing people. And if I'm right, it's going to happen soon. And holy shit, if I'm right, that's fucking scary shit. And I don't like that, not one little bit. Because this little piggy right here wants to go to market. This little piggy right here. Look at that little piggy face that he's got. I mean, he's so punchable. It's not even funny. Trump urges Republicans to take over and nationalize voting. Nationalize voting. And the quote was to take over nationalized voting in, what did he say? The Republicans should say, we want to take over, Trump said. We should take over the voting in at least 15 places. The Republicans ought to nationalize the voting. We have states that are so crooked and they're counting votes. That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like nationalized voting means take it away from the people and put it in the, national security cabinet or something like that. That's where I kind of think this is going. So this just in. All right, last up here. DHS account of 2 Venezuelans shot by Border Patrol falls apart in court as a smear campaign. So Border Patrol, the day after Renee Good was shot and killed, another Border Patrol agent shot and wounded 2 people that they say they were, gang members of the whatever Vicious 19 gang or whatever, the Venezuela gang or whatever. Since then, there has been zero evidence that they were part of a gang. There is no investigation into their livelihood. It's just a DHS member that shot more people. So, great job. Congratulations. This is the PSYOP. This is the PSYOP, people. This is my guess. This is the PSYOP. Once again, I think they are screwing with the system so that they can get rid of voting, if we're going to really simplify what it looks like is going on. Screw with the system so you can get rid of voting. So adjust your shorts back down to their normal levels. Consider yourselves kicked in the dick by myself and the news. I, as always, am Ray Stone, and we will see you on Thursday. Bye.